Well, the Lancaster Barnstormers are sitting with the opportunity of sweeping a 3-game series. It's their second chance to do so this year. The first time they ended up falling to Charleston in the series finale at Gomart Ballpark about a week and a half ago. And now the chance exists against the arch rival York Revolution this afternoon on a lovely day at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Good afternoon, everyone. From North Prince Street in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, as the Barnstormers had to scratch Brandon Sittinger from making the start here today. He's been pushed back. He's not going to be out. He's just being pushed back till the High Point series. So Dom DeSabatino, as he's done before, the swing guy for the Barnstormers, he will jump in today. DeSabatino with a 1-0 record on the year. The win coming in his one start here. That was against the Lexington Counterclocks a couple of weekends ago. He lost the last time out, did DeSabatino, pitching the second game of the doubleheader last Sunday in Frederick. It'll be Nick Raquet on the hill today for the York Revolution. He's their ace lefty at 2-1 with a 1.82 ERA through his first 4 starts of the year. Now, the Barnstormers have been hitting left-handers very, very well. The one exception to that was Pat Leday of the Counterclocks, who shut down the Barnstormers in a 1-0 victory, out dueling Jared Lakent here a couple of weekends ago. So if Raquet deals like Leday did, then he might have the better of the Barnstormers today. Raquet has done very, very well this season. Here are the starting lineups for the respective ball clubs today. Rick Forney will once again have Trent Gimbroni leading off. He will be at shortstop. Jacob Rhinesmith is the right fielder batting second. Hitting third and playing third base is Alejandro Rivero. The cleanup hitter will be the second baseman, Richard Arena. Batting fifth at first base is Nelly Rodriguez. The left fielder batting sixth is Troy Stokes Jr. John Nunez is doing the catching. He is batting seventh for today's game. He alternating the catching chores with Ryan January, who was back there last night. Trey Martin is the center fielder batting eighth, and today we'll see Jalen Miller in the lineup as the designated hitter batting in the number 9 slot with Raquet on the hill. For the Barnstormers today, a little bit of a different look. Melvin Mercedes is leading off in center. The second baseman batting number 2, the guy who made an immediate splash here last night. And that is Jason Coca. Kelly Dugan will bat third. He will serve as the DH. The cleanup hitter is the first baseman Andretti Cordero. Trayvon Robinson will bat fifth. He'll be in right field. Joseph Carpenter with the start today in left, batting sixth. The catcher hitting number 7 is Jack Conley. Jake Hoover at shortstop batting eighth. And Trace Lair with the start at third base. He is batting ninth. Dom DeSabatino with a record of 1-0 on the hill. His third year as a Barnstormer. He is an 18-game winner in a Barnstormers uniform. It is a beautiful afternoon. It's going to be a tough afternoon on the hitters. The wind is blowing straight in from center field for our ball game today. Temperatures at game time right around 70 degrees, but with a fairly stiff breeze at Clipper Magazine Stadium. The Barnstormers will be away for a while. They head to North Carolina tomorrow and will be playing High Point for 3 games in 2 days, starting on Tuesday and off day Thursday. And then for Lancaster, it will be a 4-game visit to Gastonia over the Memorial Day holiday weekend. Following that, because of a glitch in the schedule, the Barnstormers have 3 days off. It's almost like a mini all-star break, about a quarter of the way into the season for the Barnstormers. They were originally scheduled to take on Southern Maryland for that series, but Regency Furniture Stadium was already occupied for those 3 games, so those games were moved elsewhere, and the Barnstormers had that unusual stretch of off days. Now we're going to send you down to the field and hear our opening ceremonies.
God Bless America, Donegal Intermediate Chorus.
Stands on
And now please remain standing for our national anthem, performed this afternoon by Pier Day Barbach.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the boats bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Time for baseball at Clipper Magazine Stadium on this beautiful spring Sunday afternoon. The Barnstormers taking on the York Revolution. Lancaster starting the day 7-13, trying to win 3 in a row for the first time this year. But they're still in the hunt as Southern Maryland has stumbled a bit recently. The gap between the Barnstormers and Southern Maryland is at 5 games. However, everybody else in the middle, Long Island, rained out at home against High Point last night. They'll play 2 today, and the Ducks are just 1/2 game back. And then you've got York down by 3. Staten Island is in the mix as well, and then the Barnstormers trailing 5 games behind. So the Barnstormers taking on York today, the final meeting between these two clubs in this facility here in the 2023 season. That's almost unbelievable. We're not even a month into the campaign, and York makes no more visits to the east side of the river, but the Barnstormers head across the Susquehanna often with 15 games between the two ball clubs to take place at Wellspan Park later on this year. Our first trip over there comes in the middle of June. Barnstormers and the York Revolution today. Dom DeSabatino on the hill for Lancaster. 6'4" right-hander from Middletown, Delaware. It's his 4th start of this season. He has jumped in when somebody hasn't been able to answer the call. Dom's yet to work out of the bullpen. He's covered 12 innings in those 3 starts, giving up 18 hits, 12 earned runs. He has walked 9 and struck out 12. Backing him up defensively, Trace Lair at third. The shortstop is Jake Hoover. Jason Coca is at second base, and Dreddy Cordero at first. The outfield has Joseph Carpenter in left with Melvin Mercedes in center. Trayvon Robinson is in right. And Jack Conley does the catching again here this afternoon. Here's DeSabatino's first pitch, and it slips off the outside corner and maybe a little bit low as well. Justin Alvarez has the plate today. Ben Wilson at first, and Antonio Pinzon is the third base umpire. Here is the motion, the delivery, and DeSabatino misses again, this time low, and Gimbroni has an advantage, 2-0. Trent Gimbroni batting .266 with 4 home runs. He has knocked in 15 for the year. DeSabatino with his slider, and that one grazes the outside corner for a called strike. So we are at 2-1. Jake Rhinesmith, the right fielder, on deck, and then Alejandro Rivero for York here in the top half of the first inning. The 2-1 snaps wide, and it's 3 balls and a strike here on Gimbroni. The first 2 games of this series, it's been back-to-back hits for Gimbroni and whoever has been batting behind him at the outset of the game. Did not produce a run here on Friday night. It did last night. Strike taken, 3-2. Gimbroni led off last night with a very impressive double deep to left field. And then Rhinesmith followed with a double down the left field line. Here comes the 3-2, and it's fouled to the backstop. We'll continue. 3 balls and 2 strikes. DeSabatino the leading winner on the Barnstormers 2 years ago during that shortened pandemic season. He won 11, and then last year 6-5, mostly out of the bullpen. 3-2, Dom to the plate, and it's strike three call. Jimbroni goes down looking, and we have one out. First time Jimbroni has been retired to start a ball game here this weekend. Now it will be the right fielder Jacob Rhinesmith standing in. He's batting .271 with 4 runs driven in. Decent line drive type hitter is Rhinesmith. Of course, that short porch in right field is in play for just about anybody. DeSabatino working to him, and he delivers a strike. It's 0-1. Going to be a little tougher today with that wind blowing in to lob a ball up there. Jacob Rhinesmith, born in Minnesota but lives in Tennessee now. Taking a pitch outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. He came here with Rick Forney from Winnipeg. He played 25 games there last year after spending a few seasons in the Washington National system. He is a former Harrisburg Senator. Swinging a foul ball back, and it is 1-2. Able to renew acquaintances of some nature this weekend. Might have just been a quick handshake with Andrew Lee, who would have been his teammate in Harrisburg for the last couple of years. 1 ball and 2 strikes, the pitch, down and away. Rhinesmith played 25 games and had 87 at-bats at both of his stops last year, Harrisburg and Winnipeg. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Alejandro Rivero waits on deck. DeSabatino rears back. Here's the pitch. He got him. Swing and a miss, and it's back-to-back strikeouts. So it really has been Pete and repeat all 3 games of this series at the top of the lineup for the Revs. Jimbroni singled, Odesaka singled Friday. Jimbroni doubled, Rhinesmith doubled last night, and here Jimbroni strikes out and Rhinesmith strikes out. We have 2 gone, and the batter is Alejandro Rivero, hitting .307 with 3 homers, 16 driven in, and he looks at a fastball for a strike. DeSabatino throws hard into the mid-90s, has a very good slider, command consistency, probably more of an issue than anything else. Dom signed out of a tryout camp prior to the commencement of the 2021 season. About an hour and 15 minutes away from home. 2-1 pitch, fouled past the third base coach's box, and the bat is a goner. That was the crack of the bat, but the sickening crack of the bat, and not that sweet-sounding, you got all of it off the barrel type of crack of the bat. 1-2. Rivero is tossed a new stick out of the dugout, and he will come back to the plate. The native of Cuba. Good-looking player that Forney has picked up this season. Pitch from DeSabatino, elevated foul and out of play to the right. We'll continue at 1-2. He had a chance, did Rivero, to play in the Cubs organization last year, although only in 37 games. He had .352 with 20 home runs in the Pioneer League 2 years ago. Slider, strike 3 called on the outside corner. DeSabatino has it rolling early. He strikes out the side in the top half of the first inning. We are through 1/2 an inning at Clipper Magazine Stadium on this beautiful May afternoon. The score, York 0, and the Barnstormers are coming up.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com. Local Flavor. Come on, everybody. Localflavor.com. Local Flavor. Localflavor.com. Local Flavor.
The Barnstormers aren't the only athletes who will be competing on the field at Clipper Magazine Stadium this summer. You can too, with the Lancaster Barnstormers Summer Kickball League. Beginning June 5th, your Monday nights can be filled with the fun of competition with games at 6, 7, and 8 p.m. Teams can register now at LancasterBarnstormers.com on the community page and get a real kick out of your summer.
Nick Riquet on the hill this afternoon for the York Revolution. He is a Pennsylvania native, lives in Arlington, Virginia now, 27 years of age, 6-footer and 215 pounds. And boy, is he off to a good start here in the Atlantic League, his first season in this circuit. He's 2-1, a 1.82 ERA, 24 and 2/3 innings, 17 hits, only 7 walks, and he has struck out 23. Facing Melvin Mercedes, and he is outside to Mel for the second straight time, and it's 2-0. Mercedes lost a 17-game on-base streak here last night. He went 0 for 5. Put the ball in play every time, a pop-up, a fly-out, and 3 groundouts. This time, it gets the corner, says Justin Alvarez. And Riquet faces Mercedes at 2-1. Melvin, 338 overall with a pair of home runs. He has driven in 8. 3 out of 20, though, against York. Here is the pitch, and a ground ball to third, handled by Rivero. Clean throw across the diamond to Nelly Rodriguez, and they get Mercedes again. 1 out, and now Jason Coca, the second baseman, switch hitter, will step in from the right side of the plate. He made an impact right away last night. He had an RBI single his first time up, a booming triple to left center the second go-around, and then they got him and set him down swinging in the 8th inning. In from the right side of the plate, back-to-back switch hitters at the top of the order for Ross Peoples today. 1 out, nobody on, no score, bottom of the first inning. And Riquet starts off Coca wide of the plate. It is ball 1 and no strikes. Kelly Dugan, the designated hitter, waits on deck. To Coca, strike on the outer edge, and it's 1-1. So Riquet has been starting off both these hitters with pitches away, which often goes against the grain of the way you do things here in Lancaster. Bouncing ball past the mound. Charging it is the shortstop. Giambroni will gun down Coca, 2 up, 2 down, with Dugan stepping in. So strikeouts for DeSabatino in the top of the inning. It's been ground balls so far for Riquet in the bottom portion. And now here is Dugan, who has certainly developed a well-earned reputation of being a Revs killer. 10 home runs against them in about half a season last year. 5 out of 14, 3 homers against York this go-around. And the pitch to him is hammered to center field. The wind will keep this completely under control, and an easy play for Trey Martin. 1, 2, 3 go the Barnstormers in the bottom half of the first inning. Just an 8-pitch inning for Riquet. We're at the end of 1 here in Lancaster, and there is no score. Richard Urania, left-handed batter all the way, second baseman for York, leads off here in the top of the second. He just joined them at the start of this series. Is 1 for 8 with a couple of runs batted in here. And DeSabatino in a good rhythm early today delivers a strike. It's 0-1. Pitchers can, I think, feel a little bit freer today with that wind blowing in. Soft line drive. Back on this goes Hoover, up for it. Can't quite reel it in. And a leadoff base hit for Urania. It sounded like it broke his bat. He got enough of it. Hoover, who so often makes spectacular plays on those, tried to scramble back, couldn't get there. And the leadoff man is on for the York Revolution, bringing on Nelly Rodriguez, who has found it here in 2023. Slow start, but he's hit his 3 home runs over the last week, one of those coming here last night. And after going 2 for 3 last night, he's boosted his average to 224. DeSabatino deals at the knees for a called strike. It is 0-1. Rodriguez, the one thing that hasn't changed about him is his ability to draw walks. Led the league last year, tops this year. 0-1. DeSabatino will work out of the set, and Rodriguez almost gets hit. And that wouldn't be the first time this series. Teller got him in the 6th inning last night. 1-1 to Rodriguez. DeSabatino trying to keep him from leaning out over the plate and flicking one up onto the deck. Urania leads from first, held there by Cordero. The pitch down and away. Conley gets enough of it to keep Urania in check. But now Rodriguez bats at 2 balls and a strike. Good turnout again today. Barnstormers well ahead of the pace of the last couple of years in terms of the gate. And I would say ahead of the pace of the last several years. 2-1 to Rodriguez. DeSabatino deals, and it's hit up to the right field area, but Robinson is there. He didn't get enough of it today. Rodriguez trying to locate that picnic deck once more. Opposing teams come in here and they almost seem to swing that way right now. Rodriguez with the attempt but comes up far short. And there's 1 out with Troy Stokes Jr. stepping in. 250 hitter with 3 homers and 10 driven in. Rodriguez didn't hit that well, but most days the right fielder will make that play a step or 2 ahead of the warning track. Robinson far closer than that. 1 out, 1 on. The pitch to Stokes. Down and away and gets past Conley, allowing the runner to go to second. A wild pitch will be charged to DeSabatino, and now he has to contend with a runner in scoring position. And a 1-ball, no strike count on Stokes with John Nunez, the switch hitting catcher, waiting on deck. York with a mild threat here in the 2nd inning. Wild pitches can be costly. Lancaster served up 3 last night. Not one of those 3 actually costing a run. Fastball for a strike. It's 1-1. Although, yeah, you could say that one did. In the 3rd inning from Teller, runners were moved from first and second to second and third, and a run scored on a ground ball. So, yes, the wild pitch did cost. 1 ball, 1 strike to Stokes, and a fastball is wide. Donald Goodson served up wild pitches on consecutive offerings in the 9th inning, but with 2 outs, runner going from first to third, and then he got the final out of the inning and no harm. Stokes bats 2-1 with the runner at second base, 1 out in the top half of the 2nd inning. Mercedes playing toward right center field here against Stokes, who loves going that way here, and that ball is hit in the air toward left center field, cutting across Carpenter. He is there for the catch. Balls are really going to hold up today. This is very, very similar to the conditions that we saw against Staten Island back on Wednesday morning. With 2 outs, Nunez will step in, 1 out of 3 with an RBI He made his 2023 debut 2 nights ago, doubled in a run against Lemoyne, the only run that scored against Lemoyne in 8 innings. The offering in this ball is cracked to deep center. Mercedes on the run. Mercedes going, and Melvin makes the grab deep toward left center field. Again, the wind probably aided him in making that catch, but Melvin is able to run it down, and that ends the inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and Urania, left parked at second base, will go to the bottom of the second. Here today, the Barnstormers and the Revs remain scoreless.
Hi everyone, Adam Gochnauer from Gochnauer Appliances, back again this season with your Atlantic League champion Barnstormers. Like the Barnstormers, Gochnauer Appliances is also champions of the appliance business. We always give you the best price along with the best delivery, installation, and service in the area. Don't forget to check out our weekly cash and carry specials on our website. A new product on special every week. See what an enjoyable championship appliance store is all about. Gochnauer's in East Petersburg.
Being over 55 does not mean a ticket, it means 10 with the Silver Stormers Club presented by the Lancaster Barnstormers and Audiology Associates of Lancaster. Anyone 55 and over can enjoy baseball action at every Tuesday home game for only $55 on the season for regular seating or $65 for a dugout box. That is nearly a 70% savings. Members also receive a special Silver Stormers t-shirt to wear proudly at the stadium. For more information or to sign up, go to LancasterBarnstormers.com under season tickets.
They say to truly understand someone, you must walk a mile in their shoes. Well, at Lexus, we designed the ES with you in mind every step of the way. From class-leading legroom in the back to positioning the touchscreen 4 inches closer to you in the front. Everything in the Lexus ES, a direct reflection of you. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg or Lancaster County.
2022 ES versus 2021-2022 competitors. Information from manufacturers' websites as of 5/3/2021.
No score in our ball game today. We head to the bottom half of the second inning. Andretti Cordero, Trayvon Robinson, and Joseph Carpenter to step in for the Lancaster Barnstormers. Cordero will get things started. He's on a doubles tear. He has 4 in the last 3 games. 237 with 4 homers, 13 runs batted in overall, 8 two-baggers. Facing the left-hander Raquet, spelled like racket. Chopper toward the middle. Urania playing there. He'll throw from behind second base and cut down Andretti. That is 4 outs on 9 pitches so far for Raquet. He has not pitched since 2019. He was an 11-game winner for the Potomac Nationals, which is now the Fredericksburg Nationals. Back in the 19 season, 11-9, 4.07. He walked only 43 in 130 and a third innings. On the inside corner to Robinson. Trayvon was spinning out, and the ball came back and clipped the edge. Carpenter waiting on deck. 1 strike to Robinson. Breaking ball drops in, making it 0-2, and Raquet showing no flaws whatsoever here in the early going. To Robinson, 0-2, bends into the dirt. Trayvon laying off, ball 1, 2 strikes. The man with the most seniority on this ball club. He's been part of the Barnstormers on and off since 2016. He awaits the 1-2, swing and a miss at the breaking ball. 5 in a row for Raquet, and doing it with incredible efficiency here in the early going. Joseph Carpenter to the plate, batting 167 with a homer and 5 runs driven in. Carpenter had the biggest hit here on Friday night, a 2-run single in the second inning. Barnstormers went on to win that one 6-3. Check swing and a foul as Raquet ran the pitch in on his hands, and it is 0-1. Raquet, a product of William and Mary. That's skied foul down the right side by Carpenter. Up toward the outdoor experience, brought to you by Subaru. 0-2. Sunny skies for the most part today. Occasionally, a cloud will cast a shadow on the field. Swing and a miss there. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. The Barnstormers have their hands full with Nick Riquet this afternoon, but the same could be said of York and Dominic DeSabatino. We're already through 2, and we have no score. Two innings already in the books here today. We go to the top of the third, and center fielder Trey Martin. He's batting .211 with a couple of home runs, 5 knocked in. Both home runs found the deck here in Lancaster. Sixth and final game York plays here this year. The Barnstormers have won 3 out of the first 5, including the 2 so far this weekend. DeSabatino to Martin, and a swing and a miss. No balls and a strike. DeSabatino had a minor problem last inning with a blue pit and a wild pitch that got out of it. Now to Martin, fouled to the right. Dominic seems to have very good life on the fastball today. Barnstormers will send Jared Lakin and Niall Ball up against High Point for the doubleheader on Tuesday, and then Sittinger may come back by Wednesday. Fouled again, still 0-2. Travis Lakins is down. He is going on the injured list per Ross, and the Barnstormers also lost Ariel Sandoval last night, and there's no telling how long he'll be out. Dunston's not going on the road trip. I mean, the injuries are just piling up on this team. Of course, they did last year as well, and the team responded over and above. Fly ball right center field. He may have gotten enough of this one. Robinson going back. Trayvon able to reach up and make the catch. Wow, most days that's gone. The wind knocks down another one. DeSabatino pitching to conditions here today. 1 out, and that brings on the designated hitter Jalen Miller. 163 with 3 runs driven in. We haven't seen him yet this weekend. Right-handed batter is Miller. The pitch, the fastball reaches the inside corner for a called strike, and it is 0-1. Outside, again, a fastball from DeSabatino. It's 1-1. Miller from Atlanta, and he was in the Braves system last year at AA Mississippi. Started his pro career with the Giants in 15. Fastball, third straight. This time on the outside corner, it's 1-2. He had 236 last year with 8 home runs, drove in 44, stole 17 bases. Here's a 1-2. This time, Dominic is low. And a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Miller, not a guy you want to tangle with. He's got a black belt in the martial arts, Taekwondo specifically. 2-2. And of course, if you know that they're actually the people who are going to be the least aggressive. 2-2. Fouled away again. Jalen Miller working with 1 out in the top half of the 3rd inning. There's only been 1 base runner to this point in the game out of 14 men that have stepped in. The pitch, high fly ball toward the right field corner. The wind will push this foul and out of play. Miller continues to bat at 2-2. It's very reminiscent of the ball game against Staten Island here on Wednesday. And considering how home run prone the Barnstormers pitching staff has been over the last 11, 12 games, this isn't the worst thing. 2-2, swing and a miss. The Sabatino gets Miller with a fastball. 4th strikeout for Dom. And we'll go to the top of the order in the shortstop, Trent Gimbroni. Gimbroni is from the New Orleans area, from the suburb of Metairie, which is where the airport is, I believe. Fastball is outside, ball 1 and no strikes. I'm only loosely familiar with New Orleans geography. I've never made my way down there. 1-0, Gimbroni with a fly ball to center. This is a tough play. Hoover going back. Mercedes calls him off, and Melvin streaking in makes the catch. 5th fly out behind DeSabatino today. He shuts York down in the top half of the 3rd inning. We're through 2.5, and still scoreless here in Lancaster.
Do you like craft beers? Then the best place to be in Lancaster is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right. Celebrate baseball or just a night with your friends at the Broken Bat Deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat features local craft breweries as well as domestics, plus products from local wineries and more. Food like boneless buffalo bites and turkey legs is sold off a pub-style menu. So get together, hang out with your friends, or make some new ones. Enjoy a night of food and drink at the Broken Bat.
There's a weekend in July where the baseball world revolves around a village in upstate New York. Baseball Hall of Fame induction weekend in Cooperstown is an unforgettable experience filled with family-friendly activities and priceless moments. Make your plans today for July 21st through the 24th for the induction of Fred McGriff and Scott Rowland as the class of 2023. Visit baseballhall.org today for the entire schedule. See you in Cooperstown, where the journey becomes legend.
In 2023, you can enjoy Barnstormers baseball and at the same time know that you are helping to benefit people in our area. The Barnstormers have teamed up with Goodwill Keystone area throughout the season. For any tickets sold in Section 25, $1 will go towards Goodwill and its mission to build sustainable lives and generational wealth. Or on specially designated nights, bring your gently used clothing items and household goods. Help out our community and enjoy exciting Barnstormers baseball all at once.
Jack Connolly to lead off the 3rd for the Barnstormers. Left-hander Nick Raquet has retired all 6 he's faced so far. Connolly at 200 with 5 driven in. Elevates a fly ball to the right and out of play. It's 0-1. Raquet has barely missed first couple of innings. This guy has thrown 16 pitches. He's ahead of Connolly. 0-1 to Jack. Ground ball left side. That is cut off by the third baseman, Rivero. His throw gets Connolly. 7 in a row. Set down by Raquet at the outset of the ball game today. Only 4 balls to 7 batters so far for Riquet. Jake Hoover stands in. Better night for him last night. He had a infield single, little hole at shortstop, and a 2-run triple down the third baseline. 180 with 10 runs batted in for Jake. He shows bunt and takes a breaking ball. It holds up high and outside. Ball 1-0. DeSabatino getting it done with strikeouts and fly balls today. Riquet a mix, mostly ground balls. 4 out of the 7 retired via the earth. Strike to Hoover, and it is 1-1. Riquet just has a wide assortment of pitches and everything thrown pretty much where he wants to. 1-1 to Hoover. Ground ball, this time to the shortstop. Backhanded play made by Jimbroni. Gets rid of it in a hurry, and it's snapped up on the back end with the backhanded pick by Rodriguez. 2 up and 2 down here. And keep in mind when I talk about how Riquet has missed only 5 times now, 2 were the first 2 pitches he threw today. They were both outside to Mercedes. Trace Lair stands in, up to 193 with 3 home runs. He has driven in 9. 2 outs, nobody on. Bottom of the third, we're scoreless. And a ball is low to Trace, 1-0. Defense, by and large, straight away against the Lancaster third baseman. Low again. There have been times over the past season plus where nobody else can draw a walk except for Trace Lair. He is very adept at reaching base that way. 2-0 pitch taken on the inside corner, called strike here, and it is 2-1. Lair had a stretch recently where he walked 5 times in a couple of games. He swings at the 2-1 breaking ball, fouls it off, and we have a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. He's walked 10 times overall this year. Mercedes, Robinson, and Dunston have all reached double figures as well. 2-2, the count to Lair. The motion, the pitch, and it's hit in the air down the left field line. That is going to turn well onto the hill. Youngster tried to make a diving catch on the uneven terrain out there. Good luck. He didn't come up with it. I admire anyone who can catch a foul ball out on that hill. Here's a 2-2. Riquet inside, and he hits Lair, and Lair is down. The Barnstormers can't afford another injury, and I'm afraid they just had one. Lair got drilled by a fastball up and in, and this is in that territory where the way Lair has responded to it, where you think, boy, it might have gotten a hamate. Melvin Mercedes is the on-deck batter for the Barnstormers, and he knows what that is all about. It cost him a large chunk of the 2021 season here. Hopefully Trace is okay. Hopefully he is just stunned by that. Anya Badulak is out there. Lair is going to go down to first, and maybe he is all right. High, tight fastball. Well, the Barnstormers have their first base runner of the day, but not the way you want to achieve it. Lair gets a pat on the shoulder from Troy Steffi, the first base coach. Ross Peoples over at third. And the batter is Mercedes. He grounded out his first trip. 2 outs, runner at first base, and to Melvin. Fastball for a strike, and it is 0-1. A lot of room on the right side for Mercedes. Riquet comes back 0-1. Ground ball down the first base line. Fair ball handled by Nelly Rodriguez right at the bag, and Mercedes is out. The play will go 3 unassisted. And Mel will touch first base because you're supposed to and head and get his glove. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left. The Barnstormers get a base runner. York has only had one. James Murray is going to jump in and take over for the next 3 innings. Our score is the Barnstormers 0 and the York Revolution 0.
On our way through the middle innings on Flow TV. This is James delivering the middle innings of this affair between the York Revolution and the Lancaster Barnstormers as Dom DiSalbatino starts off with Jacob Rhinesmith. First ball is a ball low and away. Here's the second pitch of the at-bat, called for strike one as it levels at 1 apiece in the ball game. All knotted, 1-1, 0-0, 1 hit for York, no hits for Lancaster as they just got their first base runner last inning via the hit batsman on Trace Lair. Barnstormers could not come up with anything in the meantime as DiSalbatino now has a count of 2 balls and 1 strike on Jacob Rhinesmith. 267, 4 runs batted in. He's yet to hit a home run. This one, as DiSab works inside on the hands, is fouled off by Rhinesmith. So far, DiSalbatino with 47 pitches, dealing, absolutely dealing. He has been on point with command, as we saw from the get-go as he began the game with a strikeout of the side. Ball works low and in, gets the backstop. The count will swell to 3 balls and 2 strikes to Rhinesmith. We'll see Alejandro Rivero and Richard Urena to follow him as the middle of the order is due up after Rhinesmith. 3-2 offering on its way from DiSalbatino. Strike 3 called on the beautiful breaking slider that clips the zone. Great backdoor breaking pitch by DiSalbatino, called for strike 3 as Rhinesmith will head back to the pine and Alejandro Rivero will be due up now. You're going to be looking at quite a line. 3 1/3, 1 hit, no walks, 5 strikeouts as DiSalbatino works well and starts off with the same pitch he struck out Rhinesmith with. This one, however, stays inside for ball 1. Rivero, 303, 3 home runs, 16 runs batted in. He's 0 for 1 so far today. There's the pitch. That one swung on and missed. A healthy hack by Rivero in this one as he comes up empty. Counts 1 ball and 1 strike now to the third baseman for the Revolution. Sabatino works low and away and misses. Counts 2 balls and a strike as he now hits the 50 pitch threshold. He's working in the low 50s right now and dealing in the 90s on the mile-per-hour velocity. 2 balls, 1 strike. He gets his sign from Conley. That one is struck right up the middle. A diving effort by Coca, but he will hold it, and that'll be a single, an infield single for Rivero. So after the strikeout of Rhinesmith, York finds himself with a base runner with 1 away. Coca made a great dive up the middle. DiSalbatino thought to put a hand out, but regrettably so, pulled it back, and Coca fielded the ball before it could get to Melvin in the outfield. So an infield single for the third baseman, and here comes Richard Urena. 1 out, 1 on. Being held at first. Swinging and missing is Urena. That is only the second base runner for the Revolution so far. They had a single by Urena back in the second inning, and they haven't had nothing since, and Rivero is on first. Here's the pitch, working Urena inside. That one is a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike to Urena. We've seen a dominant pitching duel between Roque and DiSabatino, both yielding base runners the best they possibly can. 1 for Lancaster and now 2 for York so far. There's the pitch. That one is struck and launched into right field. Trayvon and Melvin are going to give chase. Melvin finds it on the warning track, and he will record it for out number 2, as warning track power will not be the ticket for a run-scoring opportunity just yet. Great job by Melvin Mercedes tracking that all the way back to the UPMC Life-Changing Medicine banner out in right center field. He records it. There are 2 down for the Revolution. Rivero still mans first, and here's Nelly Rodriguez, who homered yesterday, his 200th career professional home run, as York pointed out in their notes. Swinging and missing on a beautiful breaking pitch, as he has begun everyone in the inning with off speed. 86-mile-an-hour slider that Nelly Rodriguez comes up empty on. Here's the pitch from DiSabatino. He gets Nelly at the knees for a called strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes as DiSabatino is looking for his 6th strikeout on the afternoon. He checks his runner. Rivero's leaning. He's going. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. That's number 6 so far as Nelly Rodriguez comes up with nothing but air. That'll end the inning for DiSabatino and the Lancaster Barnstormers. York will hit the field. The Stormers will grab the pine, and we'll see what the Lancaster Barnstormers can do with this 0-0 tie. We'll be back after these messages.
It is time now to introduce to you today's Hershey's Chocolate World Miniature of the Game. Your guest.
You like craft beers? Then the best place to be in Lancaster is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right. Celebrate baseball or just a night with your friends at the Broken Bat Deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat features local craft breweries as well as domestics, plus products from local wineries and more. Food like boneless buffalo bites and turkey legs is sold off a pub-style menu. So get together, hang out with your friends, or make some new ones. Enjoy a night of food and drink at the Broken Bat.
There's a weekend in July where the baseball world revolves around a village in upstate New York. Baseball Hall of Fame induction weekend in Cooperstown is an unforgettable experience filled with family-friendly activities and priceless moments. Make your plans today for July 21st through the 24th for the induction of Fred McGriff and Scott Rowland as the class of 2023. Visit baseballhall.org today for the entire schedule. See you in Cooperstown, where the journey becomes legend.
In 2023, you can enjoy Barnstormers baseball and at the same time know that you are helping to benefit people in our area. The Barnstormers have teamed up with Goodwill Keystone area throughout the season. For any tickets sold in Section 25, $1 will go towards Goodwill and its mission to build sustainable lives and generational wealth. Or on specially designated nights, bring your gently used clothing items and household goods. Help out our community and enjoy exciting Barnstormers baseball all at once.
Onward to the bottom of the 4th inning. Coca, Dugan, and Cordero due up in the inning as the Barnstormers look to mount something and get on the board, not only via hit, but a run. Here's Coca to lead off for the Stormers. He fouls the first pitch off for strike 1. Ruque works him inside with the breaking pitch. That'll miss the zone. And for ball one, 1 ball, 1 strike. Coca's first time up in the first inning. He grounded out on 3 pitches, 6-3, as Jimbroni's had some work tonight. There's the pitch from Ruque, a beautiful breaking pitch in the strike zone, a curveball for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Yasin Coca. Yesterday, he came in and absolutely lit things up in his short time. This one's grounded over to Nelly Rodriguez. He's going to charge it. He will have no play. He flips to the pitcher, Ruque, covering, but Coca's speed gets him an infield single. Stormers in the hit column now. They have a man on first with nobody out. That was going to be a very tough play for Nelly to have to charge and run a foot race to beat Coca to first. And Ruque came over to cover first base, but was a little late, and Coca had a single all the way. Here's Kelly Dugan. Dugan looks at strike 1 called. Breaking a fastball. Gets the outer part of the zone for strike 1. Dugan homered yesterday. We'll see what he has in his chances here as he fouls his second pitch off. Dugan hit a bomb out to right field last night. Dugan reached base 4 out of his 5 plate appearances before being relieved by Carpenter for a pinch runner. Here's the pitch. Dugan checks. That ball's low, and he thinks better of it. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kelly Dugan, the designated hitter. Yeah, Dugan hit a single in his first at-bat. He homered in his second. He was hit, grounded out, and walked. Dugan put some lumber on this one. It'll be skied out toward the left side of the field. Drifting to foul territory is Rivero. He'll record this for out number 1. A pop out by Kelly Dugan won't help the cause here, as it'll be up to Cordero and others to see if they can do anything with Coca's leadoff single. He mans first base. Andretti Cordero, who's been on a hot streak, he'll be up to face Ruque. Here's the pitch. That one going to miss the zone low. 38 pitches from Ruque in this one. 27 for strikes, 11 balls. Coca with a good lead off first. Nelly holding him. Here's the pitch. Cordero watches this one miss the zone for 2 balls and no strikes. 234, 4 home runs, and 13 RBIs. Don't let that tease your mind, as Cordero's been absolutely raking. And as he puts a charge into this one, it's on its way to Stokes out in left field. He'll camp under it, though, before the warning track. That'll be caught for out number 2. It sounded great off the bat, but comes up empty. A fly out to Troy Stokes Jr. out in left field, and Coca will retreat back to first. We have 2 out in the inning now. Here's Trayvon Robinson. He struck out his first time up. Coca's on first. Nelly's still holding him. Ruque has not picked off yet. That one's grounded feebly right in front. Ruque will come over. He will throw to first, and Nelly Rodriguez will be there as they record the out. 1-3. Trayvon down, and Barnstormers will leave 1. No runs on 1 hit. No errors. 1 man left. Stormers get into the hit column, but not the run column. York coming to bat now. Stormers and York knotted up in zeros. Troy Stokes Jr., John Nunez, and Trey Martin due up in the top of the 5th inning. Stokes will be started off with a breaking ball as the trend continues from Dominic DiSabatino. 60 pitches on that last one as he continues to be very efficient. No balls, 1 strike. That one's going to miss the zone high for ball 1. Sabatino so far being matched by Riquet. 4 innings each so far. 2 hits for DiSabatino. No one has yielded a walk, but a hit batsman by Riquet. Here's the pitch to Stokes. That one's going to miss the zone for a ball as well. Stokes is 0 for 1 today. He flew out to left field in his only at-bat so far this afternoon. This one misses the zone as DiSabatino has a 3-ball, 1-strike count to the former big leaguer Troy Stokes Jr. 247 with 3 home runs recorded and 10 RBIs on this young season for Stokes. DiSabatino works the windup. Here's the pitch, called at the knees on Stokes. The count will be full to Troy Stokes Jr. On deck will be Nunez and Martin. They are both 0 for as well. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Conley gives his sign. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed as DiSabatino comes back and pumps his fist as he's happy he got the strikeout and avoided a leadoff base runner. Swinging strike for Stokes puts him back in the dugout for the York Revolution. Nunez flew to center. Trey Martin on deck now. He flew to Robinson out in right field. Nunez, a very small sample size so far, as he is only batting $1.250 right now in an RBI as he's newly added. Here's the first pitch to him. This one, first pitch swinging. Carpenter will go over and grab it as it drifts toward foul territory, but remains fair for out number 2. So, as we talked about efficiency, Dominic is doing that and more as he has a fly out to Carpenter, and now 2 outs on 6 pitches. 43 for strikes, 23 for balls, and here's Trey Martin. Martin looks at the first pitch that misses for ball 1. Martin will be followed by Jalen Miller if he does reach base. One ball, no strikes, 2 men down. Infield playing straight up for Martin, so they're not worried about a bunt right here. That one misses in the dirt for ball 2. Conley and DiSabatino have been on a very good page between each other. DiSabatino now has 7 strikeouts for the game as he inches closer to getting his statistics into double digits. That one misses as well for a ball. 3-0 count now to the number 8 hitter, Trey Martin. On deck, like I said, Jalen Miller, who struck out his only time up today. DiSabatino works with Martin, and here's a called strike. That one in the front door for a 93-mile-an-hour variety fastball. 3 balls and 1 strike as DiSabatino works to try and not issue a walk. That one is stroked out into left field, will one hop right in front of Carpenter. So, wasn't a walk, but it's going to be a base runner. A single to left field for Trey Martin. Keeps the inning alive as York will send up Jalen Miller now, the designated hitter, batting number 9th. So a line drive off the bat of Trey Martin, the 3rd hit so far for York. Carpenter had nothing to do but play it on the hop. Jalen Miller stands in here, batting $159 with 3 RBIs and 0 for 1 today. Martin with a nice lead and inching. He's being held on. He's on the move. Conley will have a play to second. It will be not in the favor of the Stormers. That is a stolen base for Trey Martin. A 2-out steal by Martin. Conley put a great throw on it. Nonetheless, there is a man in scoring position for the first time today. So Martin with the nice stolen base. He's on second with a very good lead at that. Miller looks with strike 1. DiSabatino checks him. Here's the pitch. That one is fouled off. So now in the driver's seat even further for DiSabatino with a man in scoring position. Martin capitalizing a single and a stolen base, working on getting himself into scoring position. And Miller bats now with a 2-strike count and 2 outs. The lineup would turn over and Trent Gimbroni is on deck if it happens. That pitch is scorched over to Coca. One hop right into the leather, and he throws one over to Cordero. That'll end the inning even with a man in scoring position, making things interesting. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left, no errors recorded. That will be it for York in this half of the middle inning. 4-3 put out nicely, gets the Stormers out of danger as DiSabatino with 5 strong innings in the books. Roque going to hit the mound. Stormers will be up in a moment. We'll be back after these messages.
For the youth of our area, the Barnstormers are offering a wide variety of camps throughout the summer to teach everyone some tips on baseball and softball. Camps are offered to kids as young as 4 and as old as 12. Some even involve the parents. They run from June all the way through August. For more information, go to LancasterBarnstormers.com and click on the Youth Baseball tab. All presented by Orthopedic Associates of Lancaster and Play It Again Sports.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that'll bring your baseball memories to life. Connect with events that have shaped and changed the game and our country. Our stories to tell, your memories to share. Plan your visit today at baseballhall.org.
Bottom of the 5th inning on its way as Lancaster hopes to get something mounted here against Roque, who's been pitching very well, matching DiSabatino inning for inning. 4 innings, 1 hit and 2 strikeouts from Roque so far for the Revolution. Stormers, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. York, the visiting team, no runs, 3 hits, no errors recorded. And we will be dealing with Joseph Carpenter to start things off in the bottom of the 5th inning here against Roque. Carpenter, Conley, and Hoover will have work cut out for him as second baseman for the York Revolution. Urena shades closer to up the middle, leaving more of a hole on the right side. Carpenter looks at ball 1. 91 misses high and away. Carpenter looks here, swings and fouls this one back. Stormers be looking for almost anything to try and get base runners, as they weren't able to do anything last inning when Coca reached base on the single. He was left out there after his single. Stormers went 1-2-3 afterwards. This one is hit and chopped right to Urena, who is positioned perfectly. That'll be 1 out, 4-3, as Carpenter goes down via the ground ball. 1 man out, and here comes Jack Conley. Conley grounded out his only at-bat, and that was back in the 3rd inning. He is 0 for 1, as is Jake Hoover, who also was victimized via the ground ball out, as Roque continues to work very well and very quickly. This one is called for a strike as a breaking ball comes in and shocked Conley as he showed bunt for a split second and pulled back just to get out of the way of the breaking pitch. Barnstormers trying to get anything done to get a base runner. Swung on and missed now. Conley quickly in a hole. Infield playing back, including Rivero, where the bunt would have been intended to be landed on the third base line. It would have been between Roque and Nunez to field it. And a lefty running off to the third base side would have been a big key to the bunt idea. That one misses high and away for a ball. Conley stole a couple bases a few games ago, so some flashes of speed could be in his mind. Here's the pitch. Conley checks. That one in the dirt. Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the catcher, Jack Conley. Conley was starting duties on tap as Proctor's been playing in the outfield a great deal. He scored 2 runs yesterday and had 2 RBIs without the benefit of a hit. He would like a hit here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 man down. Here's the pitch from Riquet. Swung on and missed. The breaking pitch gets Conley tied up. He'll head back to the pine. Swinging strikeout, and here's Jake Hoover. Stormers still coming up empty in the middle innings so far. The only good thing otherwise is that DiSabatino is keeping York in every bit just in check. Here is Jake Hoover to face Riquet. 50th pitch coming up. High strike as it hits the top corner on the outside half of the plate. Hoover looks at strike 1 at 88 miles an hour. Okay, still working from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Breaking pitch. That one misses outside. We've seen a very good zone from Alvarez. Close pitches are all that. They're just close. Close is not a strike in this game. That one missed outside as we've seen a very tight strike zone for corner's sake, which is great in the hitter's perspective. That one swung on and missed. We've seen some calls here and there drifting on that healthy outside corner and inside corner. Today we're seeing a very, very good diet of balls and strike calls from Alvarez in a positive manner. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Down goes Hoover. Hoover down via the swinging strikeout. Back-to-back strikeouts from Riquet. And that will end the inning for the Lancaster Barnstormers. We will be on our way to the 6th inning of work here. All knotted up 0-0. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Stormers in this one. They'll be coming up to bat. They'll be going into the field, and York will be hitting the bat.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
The Barnstormers aren't the only athletes who will be competing on the field at Clipper Magazine.
Top 6 coming your way here at the Clipper Magazine ballpark with a healthy crowd of the Donegal School Night. Festivities on tap. Very fun night. Last night, fireworks. Tonight, a beautiful day. No clouds in the sky, or very few at that. DiSabatino back out. Top 6, top of the order for York. Coming to bat here as DiSabatino starts off. Trent Gimbroni with a ball low and away. Gimbroni, Rhinesmith, and Rivero to take matters into their hands here in the top of the 6th inning. Gimbroni flails at this one and lofts it into left field. It will go foul and out of play for the first strike of his at-bat. 1 ball, 1 strike now from DiSabatino as he works into the mid-70s in his pitch count. 5 innings already under his belt, 3 hits, 7 strikeouts. Riquet matching the exact same line with the exception 5 innings, 1 hit, and 4 Ks. Gimbroni hits one to left, and that'll sneak through right past the diving Lair. That's his first hit of the ball game for Gimbroni, a sharp single to left field. We have a man on first now with nobody out, and here comes Jake Rhinesmith. That is York's 4th hit of the afternoon, and that is the first hit for Gimbroni. Yesterday, Jimbroni had a double in the first inning, and that was it. He went 0 for 3 after that with a walk. So a 1 for 4 day yesterday and a 1 for 3 so far today. DeSabatino checks his runner. Shown bunt by Rhinesmith. He pulls back. Ball was outside at 91 miles an hour. A little bit of small ball we could see here, playing conservative baseball as we're in the middle innings, and it's 0-0. 4 hits for York on that single. No errors committed. Lancaster with 1 hit, no runs and no errors. DeSabatino works with Rhinesmith, who shows bunt, hits it perfectly, and Conley points Lair to throw to first base and not chance the putout at second. So a sacrifice 5-3 is a great safety sacrifice, moving the man into scoring position. Sack bunt placed perfectly, not hit hard enough for Lair to even think about going to second base on the play. Dominic DeSabatino works with Rivero now, who singled back in the 4th inning. Here's the first pitch from DeSabatino. That one is stroked out into center, and Melvin will retreat. Couple steps back, will throw the ball in after recording the out, right to third base to keep Jimbroni at bay. So a 1-pitch out following the sacrifice bunt. An easy fly out to Melvin. So after the single, we've got 2 quick outs. 2 pitches to Rhinesmith, which resulted in the sack bunt, and a fly out to center field by Rivero on 1 pitch. DeSabatino working now with Richard Urena, who has the other hit in the game as well, as Rhinesmith does not in the top 4. Only Jimbroni, Rivero, and Urena do in that top portion of the lineup. This one misses low for ball 1. The other hit will be Trey Martin's, as we saw back in the 5th inning. He had a single and recorded a stolen base in the 5th, but was left stranded. Stormers looking to strand Jimbroni as well, as Urena works here with a 1-ball count. Here's the pitch. That one, a beautiful breaking pitch that clips the outside corner. Count now, 1 ball and 1 strike. On deck would be Nelly Rodriguez, who's 0 for 2. In the Stormers' half of the inning, we will see Lair, Melvin, and Coca 9-1-2. Here's the pitch. That pitch misses low for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Urena. 0-0 score in the top of the 6th inning. Conley and DeSabatino working here. They get their sign, checking the runner. Here's the pitch. Breaking pitch, clips the outside corner again. Urena not a fan, probably wasn't looking for the slider. 2 balls and 2 strikes as DeSabatino works in the 80-pitch realm now. 84 so far, and the Stormers have a man up in the bullpen. Here's the pitch from DeSabatino to Conley. Ball high and tight. Counts 3 balls and 2 strikes as DeSabatino reached back for a little extra on that one. 94 miles an hour. Ball, strike, ball. Let's see if we can see, as the trend continues, strike 3 here. Urena 1 for 2, a single in the 2nd, a fly out in the 4th. Runner leads from second. Here's the pitch, back to the breaking pitch. That one is fouled off, so our trend is still kept intact. But now, if the trend were to continue, it would be a ball 4. We'll see if DeSabatino can get a strikeout or an out any other way. Jimbroni leads from second base. Hoover right behind him, keeping him honest. DeSabatino checks with Conley. Here's the pitch with the man in scoring position. We went fastball high, and that will be fouled into out of play. Urena missed that one as it was fouled well over us here in the press box. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 men down. Jimbroni leads from second, and Hoover continues to keep him honest. Urena, here's the pitch. That one misses and will skip by Conley. So we'll see a walk, and not only that, Jimbroni will move over on the wild pitch. So a walk and a wild pitch as Jimbroni moves to third now. And here is Nelly Rodriguez as the inning continues. That's the first walk surrendered by either club. And it comes here in the top of the 6th. A hit batsman by Riquet. And that was sadly in Lair's misfortune. And that was back in the 3rd inning. Got him on the hands, but Lair was in good enough state to get on base and continue here in the field. We have 1st and 3rd with 2 outs and a big power threat here. Nelly Rodriguez, however, he's 0 for 2 today. Urena leads from first, Jimbroni at third. Here's the pitch. That one misses at 92 miles an hour on the inside half. Can't throw anything too cute in there from DiSabatino. 1st and 3rd, 2 men down. Urena at first, Jimbroni at third, and they both have healthy leads. Here's the pitch. That one misses inside, way inside. 2 balls and no strikes to Nelly Rodriguez. Outfield shifted ever so slightly, at least with Melvin and Trayvon, more so toward left field for pull. Here's the pitch from DiSabatino, challenged him. That one, a beautiful pitch, swung on and missed. Count now 2 balls and a strike. We'll give you some look at the out-of-town scores as we progress, as we're in the top of the 6th, knotted at 0. Nelly Rodriguez against DeSab. Here's the pitch. Fastball, beautiful placement on the outside corner. 92 paint. Conley and DiSabatino working very well to try and keep this at a 0-0 deadlock tie. Here's the pitch. Nelly looks at this one. It's going to miss outside as they went to the breaking pitch and they missed. Count will swell once again to 3-2 as it had to Urena. 93 pitches now as DiSabatino works ever so closer to the century mark. 1st and 3rd situation. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. That one's going to miss high, and we may see a mound visit. Back-to-back walks from Urena and Rodriguez, as now the bases are loaded, and here comes Ross Peoples. We have a mound visit, our first one, only because it's just now necessary. A single by Jimbroni, a sacrifice, a flyout, back-to-back walks, and 94 pitches currently. DiSabatino will be relieved of his duties as the score is still 0-0, but we will see a pitching change here in the top of the 6th. A very much quality outing by DiSabatino in this one. He will be done through 5 2/3. So we'll give you all the info on who's coming in to relieve him now, and we'll give you some out-of-town scores as we continue to keep you company here on Flo's TV. So if you're flipping channels through the Stormers and the rest of the Atlantic League, we'll give you some knowledge as to what else is happening around the league. Currently in Philadelphia, the Cubs and Phillies are knotted 0-0. The Nationals currently beating the Tigers and beating up on them 4-0. 4 runs on 8 hits for the Washington Nationals as they beat the Tigers yesterday too. Patrick Corbin was victorious in that one. Tigers not looking good against the Nationals, who haven't looked good all year long. We'll see Brett Clark taking over for DiSabatino in this big situation with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Braves are currently beating the Mariners and George Kirby 2-1. The Diamondbacks are beating the Pirates 2-1, currently in Pittsburgh. The Orioles are currently trailing the Blue Jays 1-0. The Brew Crew is beating up on the Rays ever so slightly. It's 1-0. The Guardians and the Mets have begun. Max Scherzer on the hill trying to find his normal self as he's struggled in his past starts this season. The Royals and White Sox in Chicago, 0-0 beginning. Oakland and Houston, Dodgers and Cardinals all have just begun their games. There will be nightcap games later, but as of now, Brett Clark is in to face Troy Stokes Jr. Stokes Jr. is 0-2. He bats with 2 outs and the bases loaded. The biggest scoring chance we have seen all afternoon. Here's the first pitch as this will be clubbed into left field, but running on is Carpenter. It kicks off his glove and will get down, and we will see 2 runs come in as the York Revolution take a 2-0 lead on the error in left field. That one was hit nicely out to Carpenter, but it kicks off his glove, and we have a 2-run deficit now in Barnstormers' eyes. So the line drive hit out to Carpenter wasn't fielded and will result in a 2-0 advantage currently for York. And here we're going to see a pinch runner at second. And the first pitch currently to Nunez is a ball. January is going to be running at second base. 1 ball count currently to Nunez. Here's the second pitch of the at-bat, also missing outside. January replaces Nelly Rodriguez as a courtesy runner, designated pinch runner, for a little bit of a change of pace at second. 2 runs in now. That one called for a strike. Almost out of the inning. However, that one kicked off of Carpenter's glove as he charged it. Runs will be unearned against DiSabatino. Here's the pitch. That one misses away. 3 balls and 1 strike now to Nunez. That scored Gimbroni and Urena. Gimbroni was at third via the single to lead off, and a walk was Urena's. That one swung on and fouled toward the York dugout. 3 balls, 2 strikes, as we've seen several full counts in this inning. Lots of pitches thrown. Clark, 6 so far, as he's dealing with his second batter he has inherited. Trey Martin on deck. He's 1 for 2. Nunez currently 0 for 2. And Clark trying to put him at an 0 for 3 hold. Here's the pitch. Runners are moving. That one will be fielded by Hoover. He'll throw to first, and they will get him by a footstep. 6-3 ends the inning. Hoover made a great play moving to his left. So not before 2 runs come in to change the status of the game currently. 2-0 for the York Revolution. Stormers needing to come in and capitalize now.
Magazine Stadium this summer. You can too with the Lancaster Barnstormers Summer Kickball League. Beginning June 5th, your Monday nights can be filled with the fun of competition with games at 6, 7, and 8 p.m. Teams can register now at LancasterBarnstormers.com on the community page and get a real kick out of your summer.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that'll bring your baseball memories to life. Connect with events that have shaped and changed the game and our country. Our stories to tell, your memories to share. Plan your visit today at baseballhall.org.
After the move for the designated pinch runner, Nelly Rodriguez will rejoin at first base. Barnstormers, it's a brand new ball game for them as York came up with 2 runs on the error in left field. It's the bottom of the 6th inning, 9-1-2 due up for the Stormers in this affair with the York Revolution. DiSabatino was removed, if you were just joining us, after 5 2/3 quality, and replaced by Brett Clark. And then tragedy struck as York got on the board with 2 runs, and Riquet is currently pitching with none against him. 5 2/3, 4 hits, 2 runs, none earned, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts is the final line for DiSabatino on 94 pitches. Here's the first pitch to Trace Lair. That one, a breaking pitch, hitting the front end of the zone for strike 1. We'll see what Lair can do to start off the Stormers' bottom of the 6th. That one misses inside, but it may miss the zone inside, but it does clip Lair. Less painfully this time than his first. He is on base once again via the hit batsman. Lair was hit back in the 3rd inning, and he has been hit here in the 6th inning, and he will be awarded first base. Stormers have a man on. They've led off with a man on 2 out of the last 3 innings, and we'll see what they can do with this one, as a turning point needs to happen. Here's the first pitch to Melvin. That one misses inside. Lair will think better of moving up. That's a ball blocked. 1 ball, no strikes to Melvin. Melvin 0 for 2 tonight. Yesterday he had a rough go about it as well. He went 0 for 5. He needs to get things in favor of the hit column. Let's see what he can do here. Lair, very mild lead as Riquet watches him. Swung on and missed by Melvin as he was fighting that one the whole way. Counts 1 ball and 1 strikes. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for York. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error committed by Lancaster. Lair, couple steps off of first base, yet Nelly's still holding him. Here's the pitch. Melvin shows bunt. Pops it right in front of Nunez. Nunez will quick fire to first. Will go down as a sacrifice, 2-3. So, small baseball played on both ends of the scorecard in the 6th inning, as that'll move Lair in the scoring position. Nunez pounced on that one. Man at second for Coca. Coca singled to lead off things in the 3rd. And he'll see a fastball, or breaking pitch more rather, for called strike 1. Lair at second base now, on deck after Coca is Dugan. Coca 1 for 2. Lair with a nice lead off of second, but being monitored by Urena and Gimbroni. That one's going to miss the zone for a ball. Count levels 1-1. A big time for the Stormers to come up with a scoring chance here with Lair at second base. Coca didn't get further than first in the 4th inning when the Stormers had their leadoff man on. Swung on and missed. A big hack by Coca, an 89-mile-an-hour fastball. Leadoff men are doing their jobs here right now. They're on base, and we'll see a good lead and hopefully a better secondary by Trace Lair. Coca bats and swings and fouls this one off. Counts 1 ball and 2 strikes now to the Stormers' second baseman. On deck is Kelly Dugan. Dugan is 0 for 2 this afternoon. One ball, 2 strikes, offering, swung on and missed. Coca's going to come up empty with that one. And there will be 2 outs in the inning now, with Lair still sitting at second base. Here's a man who could bring everybody home with no base runners left. Here's Kelly Dugan, a power hitter, power hitter of the lineup. 10 RBIs, 4 home runs so far. Here's the first pitch from Riquet. That's going to miss inside, low and in for ball 1. This is the 5th start by Riquet, and he's continued to show dominance. That one misses badly as it bounces in front of John Nunez. That'll be a definite wild pitch, as that skips to the backstop, and Lair will skip to third. A man at third and 2 men down in the inning. Count now, 2 balls and no strikes after the wild pitch. I'm not sure you're going to see too much given to Kelly Dugan now with first base open. Everybody playing very deep. Here's the pitch. That one backs Dugan off the plate for ball 3, as he's furthermore in the driver's seat. 3 balls, no strikes. I don't think you're going to see anything. Andretti Cordero, as things don't get any easier, stands on deck. Here's the pitch to Dugan. He'll look at that one right down the middle for strike 1. 3 balls and 1 strike to the Barnstormers' designated hitter. Power Packs hitter, here's the pitch. Swung on and belted into right field. That one has hit the wall and will come down, and that'll be an RBI single for Kelly Dugan as he smashed one right off the next home banner in right field. Dugan cranked that one and nearly had a 2-run homer. Dugan strokes an RBI single to right field. Barnstormers are now on the board as they still trail by 1. We have a designated pinch runner, and it's Chris Proctor at first. A line drive, nearly a home run, sent out to right field. Ryan Smith played it perfectly. And we have our designated pinch runner now, Proctor, over for Dugan, as a change of pace is now on first. First pitch to Cordero is called strike 1. Nearly got home run call happy, but held it together as Dugan just struck the heck out of that one and just missed it. 1 strike offering from Riquet. That one misses high for a ball. 2-1 now as Lancaster continues to threaten. Dugan with a great chance and great contribution there. That one misses outside for ball 2. Proctor leads from first, and Nelly is holding him on. He's got a great lead. Here's the pitch from Riquet. Cordero watches this one outside as he is further in the driver's seat. Count is 3 balls and 1 strike. That was the first run for the Stormers and an RBI for Kelly Dugan. A long single, a power single, swung on and chopped foul by Cordero as he was early on the breaking pitch. Trayvon Robinson is on deck if the matters continue to unfold for the Revolution. Riquet is now at 73 pitches. 48 for strikes, 25 balls. A great, healthy lead for Proctor. Here's the pitch, and Cordero goes down swinging as the breaking pitch ties him in knots. 1 run, 1 big hit. No errors and 1 man left. Stormers are on the board and not letting up. They trail 2-1 in this ball game, the Sunday matinee. We will be back after these messages here at the Clipper Magazine Stadium. Stick with us.
2-1, Barnstormers trail. We go into the 7th inning. And Trey Martin will be facing Brett Clark. Martin 1 for 2. Has a stolen base on the day. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors. And the Revs have left 5. First pitch strike in on Martin. It is 0-1. And for the Barnstormers, 1 run now on 2 hits with an error. And Lancaster is stranded 3. High fly ball, left center field. Angling over on it is Carpenter to make the catch and out number 1. Martin's retired. Tough day on the hitters. That is for sure. We've seen the wind knock down several, and none more dramatically so than what turned out to be a long single for Kelly Dugan. High off the picnic wall down the right field line. That was one of those Trace Lair hit one the other day. Everybody in the world thought it was gone, and the wind just shut it down when it got out there. Pitch outside and low on the slider to Miller, who is 0 for 2. Ball 1, no strikes. Clark ready to go, working quickly, comes back and gets a swing and a miss against his fastball. And we are even at a ball and a strike. Elsewhere in the Atlantic League, first of 2, Long Island leads High Point 4-1 in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Southern Maryland is up 4-0 in the bottom of the 2nd behind Mitch Lamson. 2-1 now to Miller. And Gastonia owns a 1-0 lead over Lexington in the top half of the 3rd inning. Frederick at Charleston coming up later. Look out, inside and high to Miller. And a 3-ball, 1-strike count. 1 out in the top of the 7th, and the way this game is playing out, the Barnstormers really need to hold fort here. That ball swung on, lined over the top of Lair and down into the left field corner. It should be extra bases for Miller. He is going to round second, hold up there with the 1-out double in the top half of the 7th inning. The 5th hit of the day for York, and the first hit on either side for extra bases, and that's about the only way you're going to accomplish an extra base hit today, I've got to think, is a liner down the stripes. As much as the wind is holding everything up. Then we go to the top of the order, and shortstop Trent Gimbroni. He singled to open up the 6th inning. And came in to score on the drop line drive, the first of the 2 York runs. High pop up here. Mercedes and Robinson gather. Robinson with the catch, and Miller doesn't even budge off second base. It would have been a very short throw behind him. 2 outs, and Jacob Rhinesmith will step in. He has struck out twice and laid down a sacrifice bunt. York 2 and the Barnstormers 1 here in the 7th inning. Pitchers have been in charge today. Wonderful outing for Dominic DeSabatino. 5 2/3, 4 hits, all singles, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, and the runs were unearned. Strike on the outside corner. Jack Connolly looked like he did a pretty good job framing that pitch. Justin Alvarez is generous to the pitchers, I think, but consistent with it. Here's the 0-1, ground ball right side. Coca goes for it, dives, rolls over, sets, throws, and he has him. Jason Coca coming up with a dandy of a play to the hole on his left side. It cuts down Rhinesmith and gets out of the inning. The book on Coca, he comes with a great glove. We just saw it. He saves a run, and it's no runs on a hit with no errors and 1 man left. We're at the 7th inning stretch here this afternoon and poised for an exciting finish. York 2 and Lancaster 1.
Be honest. Since you got up this morning, have you done anything new? Tried any new foods? Listened to new music? Or taken a new route? The good news is the day isn't over.
Hey, Lexus, turn it up.
And the reinvented Lexus RX is definitely something new. With heart-pounding design, intelligent technology, and the first ever RX 500h performance hybrid. Never lose your edge with the all-new Lexus RX. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg or Lancaster County.
Fans, remember to vote in the Clipper Magazine localflavor.com Best of Readers poll for your chance to win. Cast your vote for your favorite Lancaster area restaurants, home services, family fun and entertainment, and more. For each category in which you vote, you will get one entry into the sweepstakes. Scan the QR code to enter now, and while you're there, check out the half-price deals. You can save big and get great deals on everything from dining and entertainment to health and beauty and home improvement, all while supporting your favorite local businesses. Haven't checked out the savings at localflavor.com yet? Now's your chance. New localflavor.com users will receive an extra 25% off their first purchase. That's an extra 25% off their already half-price deals. Local Flavor offers a convenient way to save your deals, gift them, and share them with friends and family. And don't forget to sign up for their email list. You'll be the first to know about money-saving offers near you. Clipper Magazine has been a proud member of the Lancaster community for 40 years. Their commitment to supporting local businesses so communities can thrive is as strong as ever. If you want to save money, and let's face it, who doesn't, you know where to go. Clipper Magazine and localflavor.com. Catch great deals and savings right in your backyard. 2-1 York leading. Trayvon Robinson leads off the home seventh against left-hander Nick Riquet, who has been marvelous here this afternoon. Holding the Barnstormers to just 2 hits. First pitch to Robinson, a strike at the knees. It's 0-1. And it looks like Riquet has that Steve Carlton, Ron Guidry-like slider from a left-hander that just really cuts down and in. Right-handed hitters tend to swing over the top of it. Check swing here by Robinson and a foul to the right. It's 0-2. Trayvon has struck out today and dribbled back to the mound. Lancaster's only 2 hits, an infield single for Jason Coca, and the drive off the right field wall by Kelly Dugan that drove in the run last inning. Into the dirt, and ball 1 to Robinson. It's 1-2. Riquet's pitch count still only around 70. He has not walked a soul. He has 6 strikeouts. He's hit Trace Lair twice. Robinson with a foul tip. That is held. Nunez latching onto it. Robinson out on strikes for the second time, and a total of 7 for Riquet on the day. Now here is Joseph Carpenter. He is 0 for 2. Barnstormers down by 1, a club that has been plagued by 1-run losses in the early going of the year. Robinson dribbles a foul and is down a strike. It is 0-1. When you look at team stats, the Barnstormers are not in bad shape. They actually have the 5th best run differential in the Atlantic League. Strike 2 onto the outside corner, 0-2, but this 1-run game record is enough to make you put your head through a wall. Barnstormers even that out. They're right in the thick of the race in the Northern Division. 0-2. Fouled. Carpenter just getting a piece to stay in there. Lancaster with action in the bullpen. It is the hard-throwing right-hander Mike Adams warming up. Brett Clark basically got the better of 5 out of 6 hitters for his stretch today. Carpenter looks at a fastball outside. Just mixing things up is Riquet. Ball 1, 2 strikes. All the runs we have seen here this afternoon coming in the 6th inning. York with 2 in the top portion. The Barnstormers respond with 1 to Carpenter. There's a liner toward left center field. Over on it goes Martin. And it's 2 outs in the inning. This is a wonderful day to be a pitcher. Not to take anything away from Riquet or from DeSabatino and Clark, but these balls are hanging up very nicely in the outfield. Jack Conley, the batter, he is 0 for 2, and Jack will take a strike at the knees. It's 0-1. And if you look closely, you saw Conley's reaction to the call on that pitch. Riquet seems to have some room to roam down there around the knees. And as I said, it's been consistent throughout the day. but it definitely makes it a little bit easier for the pitchers to have that little amount of breathing room, and it may be a quarter of an inch difference than you might see otherwise. And it's tough to tell altitude from here anyhow. 0-1. Conley swings and misses. But Riquet has been able to, especially against the right-handed batters, really work them down in the zone and getting them to swing over the top of pitches out of the zone throughout the game. 0-2. Conley lets this go. It's in the dirt. And a ball 1-2 strike count. 2-1 with 2 outs, nobody on in the bottom half of the 7th inning here today. It's been Riquet all the way for York. His pitch count now into the middle 80s. Here's a 1-2. Conley lets it go. Ball 2 slips past the outside corner. Jake Hoover is on deck. Here is the 2-2. Hitting the air down the right side and turning out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes and holding. There have been a couple of balls today that under normal circumstances here are home runs. Dugan's in the 6th inning. There's strike 3 called. And York has hit 1 or 2 as well. Urania's in the 4th inning is, I think, the one I recall the most. Nothing across for the Barnstormers in the bottom of the 7th. Riquet just continues to dominate the game, and we'll go to the 8th with York leading by the score of 2-1. Barnstormers bring on Mike Adams for the 8th inning in this 2-1 ball game. His first pitch over at the knees on Alejandro Rivero for a called strike. It is 0-1. Adams with the tough outing on Thursday, giving up 3 runs on 4 hits without getting an out in the 9th inning in a save situation. But it was his 3rd outing in a row, all in under 48 hours. Back to a setup role here with the Barnstormers down 1. 0-2, swung on, foul tip, Conley holds. And Adams starts off his day with a powerful strikeout of Alejandro Rivero. 1 away, and the batter will be Richard Urania. He had one of those deep outs in this ball game, taking Mercedes basically to the fence back in the 4th inning. 2-1 York. Pitching has been very good today. The umpiring, as I said, maybe a little on the generous side. I can't find any fault with anything Mr. Alvarez has done. 0-1 popped up here. This could be in a tricky zone, but it's hit high enough. Hoover will call up Mercedes. Jake with the catch. 2 up and 2 down against Adams. And Nelly Rodriguez will step in. He is 0 for 2 with a walk. And you've got, of course, the air currents that have held some balls in. Lancaster will have Hoover, Lair, and Mercedes up in the 8th inning. Nobody throwing in York's bullpen. Why should there be? Fouled back by Rodriguez. It's 0-1. The Barnstormers would love to find a way to steal this one over the last couple of innings. No balls, 1 strike. Rodriguez looks at an off-speed above the zone. And it's 1-1. Barnstormers will not be back home for 12 days. They'll host the Long Island Ducks here on June 2nd and Lebanon County weekend. The Iron Masters will reappear. Grounded to third. Easy chance for Lair. And a 1-2-3 inning for Mike Adams here in the top of the 8th. Nothing across for York. We'll go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Still Revs 2, Stormers 1.
Hi everyone, Adam Gocknauer from Gocknauer Appliances, back again this season with your Atlantic League champion Barnstormers. Like the Barnstormers, Gocknauer Appliances is also champions of the appliance business. We always give you the best price along with the best delivery, installation, and service in the area. Don't forget to check out our weekly cash and carry specials on our website. A new product on special every week. See what an enjoyable championship appliance store is all about. Gocknauer's in East Petersburg.
Being over 55 does not mean a ticket, it means 10 with the Silver Stormers Club presented by the Lancaster Barnstormers and Audiology Associates of Lancaster. Anyone 55 and over can enjoy baseball action at every Tuesday home game for only $55 on the season for regular seating or $65 for a dugout box. That is nearly a 70% savings. Members also receive a special Silver Stormers t-shirt to wear proudly at the stadium. For more information or to sign up, go to LancasterBarnstormers.com under season tickets.
They say to truly understand someone, you must walk a mile in their shoes. Well, at Lexus, we designed the ES with you in mind every step of the way. From class-leading legroom in the back to positioning the touchscreen 4 inches closer to you in the front. Everything in the Lexus ES, a direct reflection of you. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg or Lancaster County.
2022 ES versus 2021-2022 competitors. Information from manufacturers' websites as of 5/3/2021.
Jake Hoover, Trace Lair, and Melvin Mercedes stepping in against Nick Riquet. Lancaster trailing by 1 in the bottom of the 8th. Riquet has gone the distance so far for York. Hoover leads it off. He's going to square around a bunt, drop it down, and that ball takes a little bit of a funny little hop. The throw to first pulls off Nelly Rodriguez, and Hoover is safe. One thing has really hurt York in this series, and that has been defense on the mound. Riquet had the play, but made a high throw, pulling Rodriguez off the bag at first, and it's not the first mistake that York has made with pitchers fielding their positions. So here is Trace Lair. He takes a ball outside and low after showing bunt, and it's 1-0. The ball took a tricky little hop up the first base line, but Riquet handled that flawlessly and then had time for the throw and made it a little too high for Rodriguez to stay on the bag. Now to Lair. It is outside and a 2-0 count, so the Barnstormers are being given their chance here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Tying run is on the error, the first committed by York today. But they made a couple of bad throws last night. Lair shortens and gets ball 3. And they have to keep an eye on Hoover, too. He's, of course, a guy with a good deal of speed. Three balls and nothing. Lair shortens up and pops up the bunt. I, for the life of me, do not understand why you're trying to get it down 3-0 there. And I think it was ball 4, too. So there's one out, and that is a huge break for York defensively. 3-0, and he goes to lay it down instead of taking the pitch and pops up the bunt and gives York the first out. So it sort of evens the score out here. Bad defensive play followed by a relatively easy out. Now Mercedes swings and misses and goes down a strike. It's 0-1. And we'll see where the Barnstormers can take the inning from here. Mercedes is still hitless in the series. He's 0-2 with a bunt, a sacrifice today. 0-1. It is low. Throw behind the runner at first. Snapped up by Rodriguez, or that could have moved the tying run to scoring position. Melvin bats at a ball and a strike. He's been back and forth from center field to second base over the last week or so with the injuries. Here's a 1-1. Mercedes takes a ball with a wrinkle on it, outside and low. Now 2-1. Great turnout here today. I think we're looking at about another 4,000. 2 balls, 1 strike to Mercedes, trying to do some damage here. High and outside is Riquet. And it's 3-1. The Barnstormers were very intent on getting Hoover to second base, obviously. And Lair's job was to do that with the left-on-left battle. 3-1 now to Melvin Mercedes. And he drops ball forward as Riquet inside and low, and that will get the runners to first and second for Jason Coca. First walk given up by Riquet the entire day. A right-hander is throwing in the bullpen for York now. And we're going to get a visit to the mound. Riquet has been simply stellar for 7 1/3 innings. Hurt himself at the outset of the inning with the high throw to first base. These teams, I'm sure, worked on pitchers fielding throughout spring training and from time to time since the start of the season, but at times that has not been the Barnstormers' strength, and it certainly hasn't been York's in the last 24 hours. So just a mound visit for York and a very quick one to check in on Riquet. Jason Coca, who saved a run defensively in the top of the 7th, now trying to tie it up here in the 8th. Hoover at second, Mercedes at first with 1 out. Coca with a swing and a miss. Bottom fell out of it again from the left-hander Riquet. On deck is Dugan. Proctor was the designated pinch runner. He was utilized back in the 6th inning. No balls and a strike to Coca. The pitch is low and covered up by the catcher Nunez. With 3750, the crowd here today. And that puts us just shy of 50,000 for the first 2 homestands. Barnstormers leading the league in attendance right now, slightly ahead of the Long Island Ducks and fans per game. 1 ball, 1 strike. Coca with a bouncing ball toward the middle. That is a step and a throw for the double play. 4 unassisted to 3. It won't get any easier for Urania. And Riquet is through the 8th inning. No runs, no hits. There was an error. And 1 man stranded here in the bottom half of the 8th. We're on our way to the 9th. Still 2-1 York. Well, we go to the top half of the ninth inning now, and Andrew Lee taking over on the hill for the Barnstormers. Lee has pitched 8 times previously. He's 1-1 with 3 holds and a save. 355 his earned run average. Those have come just from a couple of glitches. He, generally speaking, has done extremely well. 4 hits allowed in 12 2/3 innings. Team's hitting 100 against him. Troy Stokes Jr. leads off here in the ninth inning, takes a ball high, 1-0. The Barnstormers will have Dugan, Cordero, and Robinson to bat in the ninth inning. And they may no longer be facing Riquet. Check swing and a roller up the first base line. Lee was headed over to cover, but Cordero takes it himself. There's an easy first out for you. 1 gone, and Nunez will step in. Well, the fact that the Barnstormers didn't get the bunt down in the 8th inning turned out to be neutralized with the walk and the double play ball. Riquet has absolutely bedazzled the Barnstormers here today. 1 out. The batter is Nunez. Lee fires a little bit inside and low. 1-0. Trey Martin, the center fielder, waits on deck. York is down Tomo Odasaka. He hasn't been able to play the last couple of games with some kind of a bug, but he's on his feet. Again, a ground ball to Cordero. Again, he's going to take it himself. This on a full swing. Nunez is retired 3 unassisted. And it brings on Martin, 1 for 3 on the afternoon. Offense has been tough to come by today. We've seen only 7 hits, just 1 for extra bases. And there has been some misplay involved in the scoring. Lancaster will get one last chance in the bottom of the 9th. Barnstormers getting good work out of the bullpen today. Fastball a little bit high to Martin, and it's ball 1 from Lee. Perfect inning for Mike Adams in the 8th. Time is called. A gust of wind came up, and you saw it in Martin's jersey, but I think he also got a face full of Clipper Magazine Stadium dirt. It was a timeout that might have come a little later than you normally would grant one, but I don't think Justin Alvarez really had a choice there given the circumstances. 1-0 pitch, Lee to Martin. That is a strike at the top of the zone. The count will level up at 1 each. We'd love to see Lancaster outdraw Long Island this year. Even in the early days of the Barnstormers, they still weren't outdrawing the Ducks. The Ducks, of course, for about their first 10-12 seasons, sold out virtually every game. No longer are they there. Ball 3 is high and inside, a check swing. Barnstormers request help, but they don't get any. It's 3-1 on Martin with the designated hitter Jalen Miller waiting on deck. 3 balls, 1 strike. Lee goes to work. Martin skies it foul down the right side and out of play. 3-2. Mercedes playing a very shallow center field here as is Carpenter out and left. But again, that's playing the air currents today. It's been very windy, blowing straight in. 3-2. And that ball is rocked deep toward left center field. Carpenter going over. He's going to have to take it on a bounce. He does a nice job holding that to a single. Martin aboard with 2 outs in the 9th inning, and Miller will step in. Well, the Barnstormers throughout this game have hit 2 balls well. Dugan single off the right field wall in the 6th inning. And Cordero's deep fly out back in the 4th. Ball's hit about as well as you can, but even those, the air is knocked down. Swinging a foul ball back by Miller. He's down a strike at 0-1. Trey Martin, the runner at first base. He has a steal today, the only one we've seen in the game, his 11th of the year, putting him to a tie with Sandoval, who's hurt. 0-1 to Miller, high and saved by Conley. Ball one, strike one. Friday, June 2nd, as I mentioned earlier, the next home game, Long Island in town. The Ducks are playing well. Fastball, strike two. Lee trying to get the Barnstormers to the plate in the bottom half of the ninth inning and give the offense a chance to pull one out. You got the right part of the order to do it. 1-2, slider missing. Miller is alive with a 2-2 count. Lee, the third right-handed reliever that Ross Peoples has used today to back up Dominic DeSabatino. It's been Riquet the entire way for York. Runner with a false start. And by the time Lee was aware of it, Martin was able to dance back to the bag. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The count on Miller. Jimbroni is on deck. There goes Martin, swing and a miss. Conley fires through, and it's pointless. Might have been a double play, but who knows? We'll never know. Miller strikes out. No runs on a hit with no errors and 1 left. We'll get to the bottom half of the ninth at Clipper Magazine Stadium here this afternoon. Lancaster needing 1 to tie, 2 to pull it out in a 2-1 ball game.
Do you like craft beers? Then the best place to be in Lancaster is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right. Celebrate baseball or just a night with your friends at the Broken Bat Deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat features local craft breweries as well as domestics, plus products from local wineries and more. Food like boneless buffalo bites and turkey legs is sold off a pub-style menu. So get together, hang out with your friends, or make some new ones. Enjoy a night of food and drink at the Broken Bat.
There's a weekend in July where the baseball world revolves around a village in upstate New York. Baseball Hall of Fame induction weekend in Cooperstown is an unforgettable experience filled with family-friendly activities and priceless moments. Make your plans today for July 21st through the 24th for the induction of Fred McGriff and Scott Rowland as the class of 2023. Visit baseballhall.org today for the entire schedule. See you in Cooperstown, where the journey becomes legend.
In 2023, you can enjoy Barnstormers baseball and at the same time know that you are helping to benefit people in our area. The Barnstormers have teamed up with Goodwill Keystone area throughout the season. For any tickets sold in Section 25, $1 will go towards Goodwill and its mission to build sustainable lives and generational wealth. Or on specially designated nights, bring your gently used clothing items and household goods. Help out our community and enjoy exciting Barnstormers baseball all at once.
Nick Riquet done for the day. He has been marvelous for York through 5 starts this year, and today may have been the best of them all. 2 hits allowed, both singles, 1 run earned. He walked 1, struck out 8, hit 2, and did throw a wild pitch. He entrusts this game in the 1-run lead. Right-hander Blake Rogers, 6'2", 200-pounder from Corinth, Texas, 29 years of age. First offering to Kelly Dugan. Fastball ties him up inside, swing and a miss. And it is 0-1. Rogers 1-0. He has not gotten the save in his 1 chance so far this year, but you don't know if that's a 9th inning save or a middle inning opportunity where he inherited runners and the tying run scored. 1 ball, 1 strike to Dugan. Swing and a miss. Again at a fastball, and it's 1-2. Andretti Cordero on deck. And then Trayvon Robinson, Lancaster finding itself down by a run. These games have tortured this ball club this year. And a Dugan, a swing and a foul tip. That is held. Rogers starts off the 9th inning with a strikeout. There's 1 away. And the batter will be Andretti Cordero, who is 0 for 3. Hit one a ton to left field back in the 4th inning, but it didn't even force Stokes within a step of the warning track. Cordero stands in. 4 home runs on the year, almost hit by Rogers. A fastball inside, chasing him out of the box. That came at 97. Rick Forney has been able to find some hard throwers of his own. Rogers and Will Carter able to deliver the fastball into the upper 90s. To Cordero, outside and low. And Andretti bats 2 balls and no strikes. Cordero just 3 out of 22 against York on the year. Robinson on deck has generally been the biggest hitter against the Revs. Ball 3 missing outside. We go to 3-0. Does Cordero take here? Rogers has walked only 2. And Cordero does take. He looks at a strike at the knees. We have a count of 3-1. 2 hits for the Barnstormers on the day, something that's happened to them a couple of times before. Here's a 3-1, and that's strike 2. Cordero twice now has thought he's had the walk. Now, we've talked about the zone maybe being a little bit generous today, and it has been throughout the afternoon. We've seen only 3 walks in the ball game, and 2 of those were back-to-back from DeSabatino when he started to tire in the 6th inning. Here's the payoff to Cordero, and that will be ball 4, and the Revs thought it was strike 3. Well, the tying run heads to first. Nunez was about to peg it around the diamond. Yeah, you can't win if you're the guy behind the plate wearing the blue to black and the gray slacks and the mask. You never can please everybody. It's not your job to. So here's Robinson. Tough 0 for 3 on the day. And the Barnstormers are going to go to a pinch runner. And it's Proctor for the 2nd time, but you can do that. So the batter is Robinson, and the fastball to him is high. Ball 1 and no strikes. Robinson doubled and homered last night. You got to get all of it, even with that short porch on right today. The delivery is fouled off. Robinson gave it a whirl, but he drove the foul to the left side, and it's 1-1. Proctor represents the tying run. He's at first. Robinson at the plate, and on deck is Joseph Carpenter. York leading 2-1. All the runs scored in the 6th inning. 1 ball, 1 strike. Robinson leaps backwards, but the pitch has the inside corner, and it's 1-2. It's pretty much been nothing but fastballs from Blake Rogers so far. The Barnstormers should be getting acclimated to Rogers. It's the 4th time we've seen him in the 6 meetings between these 2 clubs. 1-2. Robinson swings and misses. And it's up now to Carpenter. Joseph Carpenter is 0 for 3. Hit the ball hard last time up. Line to center. Jack Conley is the on-deck batter. Tying run still at first base, and Carpenter the final hope for the Barnstormers here today. The pitch, Joe takes a strike on the outside corner. It's 0-1. Proctor inching off first to Carpenter. A 1-pitch line drive right field and a base hit. So that will move Proctor to second. The winning run goes to first. And Conley will step in. Jack is 0 for 3. The Barnstormers trying to pull one out of the fire here with 1 out left to go. Carpenter keeps it going with the line single into right. To Conley, smashed to second. Urania fields it and throws to first. So The Barnstormers again lose by 1, but not without giving it their best shot here in the 9th inning. That was an absolute BB hit by Conley, but within the scope of the former Washington Nationals utility man, Richard Urania, and he speared it to the backhand and turned it into the final out. So in the inning, no runs on a hit with no errors. Lancaster strands 2. We'll be back with a recap this afternoon in a moment. Our final score, the York Revolution 2 and the Lancaster Barnstormers 1.